welcome back to Blue Line Patriot, guys. Today we will be doing an unboxing and first impressions of the Palmetto State Armory AKV. So I have some work to do on this little guy here. Full disclosure, I have definitely already been all up inside of this box already. But AKV, as it ships, you're seeing it right here. So the only thing that's a little bit different from when I originally got it to right now is it had like two red zip ties here and an inspection ticket thing on it. And this was inside of a different bag, and I'll get into that in a little bit. You might be wondering what that is. I haven't seen that in any videos yet, but whatever. And I've watched them all because just like any time I buy a new gun, I can't help myself, but, I just got to get, just got to watch all the videos on them. What comes inside the box? Well, let's get the boring stuff out of the way, all right? Just like on a birthday, it's courtesy to read the card first. So you get your owner's manual. Now, nobody really cares about the owner's manual. Most of us do YouTube research anyway, so whatever, that's that. You do get your 35 round magazine. It comes with one. Now, when I ordered this from Palmetto State Armory, it was advertised with an OD green magazine. But you know what? I don't really mind whatever. Magazines to me are magazines for the most part. It's kind of cool, it's got the last bolt hold open, little plunger here, and I'll show you how that works later on. It does have steel reinforced feeding lips right here, so that's kind of cool too. Again, 35 rounds, and nobody's really spent much time talking about this, but the bottom of this magazine is actually like a rubber material. It's actually really close to what you get on a Magpul stock. The back of that feels very similar to that. It's like hard, but also like a little bit soft, but still pretty hard stuff. So the sides of it, like the sides here, are hard plastic, polymers, whatever. But the bottom of it is that kind of rubber. That's something I haven't heard anybody talk about yet in any of the videos that I've seen. So I figured I would just cover that while I can. So not too bad. Obviously 9mm magazine, holds 35 rounds. That's pretty cool. Now I have heard some stuff about how these pistols don't do so good with with defensive ammunition. But again, I actually saw a live podcast with the creators and CEOs and whatnot of Palmetto State Armory, and they were saying that just like most pistols, just like most guns, if you have like a wide opening on your defensive ammo, then that wide opening is gonna catch more stuff. So if it's a big like open mouth sort of a hollow point, then yeah, you're probably gonna get feeding issues. But it's not necessarily limited to this gun. It happens with most guns, and I could sort of attest to that because I've had Glocks. Even in my M&P, I've had problems with the big open mouthed defensive ammo, hollow points and whatnot. So I could buy that. So I guess if you get the hollow points with more of a longer snout on it, they should feed just fine. I'm personally going to test that too because I have a whole case of HSTs and a whole case of what are they called? Spear gold dots, and they have longer noses on them. So if they feed just fine, that's great because I totally intend on having this AKV as my home defense gun as more parts come in. Okay, so comes with a gun lock too. Palmetto State Armory labeled gun lock. That's kind of cool. I'd suggest if you have kids or unsavory roommates, definitely utilize those. And comes with a sticker. This is actually the second sticker that it comes with. I actually like this sticker a lot better than the other one. The other one is basically what you saw on the box. It's that kind of a design. When I actually get new stickers for stuff that I buy tactically wise, or just cool shit wise. I actually put them on the roof of my Jeep, on the inside. I actually ripped. I bought it and it didn't have a headliner in it. It's an old 2001 XJ. I love it. Anyway, it's basically just bare metal on the inside. So I just take these and stick them right up on the roof there. It's just what I do. I know other guys like to put the stuff on the outside of their vehicles, but I don't know. To me, it's like it kind of makes you a target. Nowadays, how things are, whatever. But when people get inside of the Jeep, they get to see that cool shit. So this one will be going in too. The only reason this isn't on there yet is because I pretty much just found it in the owner's manual. So it's cool to know that it comes with 2 stickers, swag, whatever. It comes with some cool candy. So knock yourself out. It's actually the light is really killing this. See if I can. There we go. Yeah, good stuff there. And you know what? I'm just kidding around, and I know somebody in the comment section is going to be like, "Oh, you should tell them it's not. You shouldn't eat that stuff." But honestly, man, if you're dumb enough to eat that, fuck you. And then this little piece right here is kind of cool because if you want to put a what do you call it, like a stock on here, or a extension, whatever, this kind of goes in. I'll show you where this goes in as best I can, because I don't really want to dig too deep into it just yet, but that's kind of cool. This is I've only seen this. This is my first time seeing it, so I haven't actually seen this in any other videos. So whatever, that's kind of cool piece to have too, so that's a little extra. If you're familiar with AKs, that's basically the top of the trunnion when you put a stock on or you put an adapter on or whatever. So let's get rid of the goofy shit. It's never going to go back on. We have a nice chamber flag, so that's nice, I guess. But yeah, guys, the Palmetto State Armory AKV. Now, I wanted the AKV that had, well, basically, OD Green furniture up here, OD Green, but also that, man, I forget what it's called now, the SB Tactical brace on it. That it looked pretty cool. So, but I didn't end up getting that. Obviously, I was, basically trying to, but every time I'd log in, what I wanted would continuously be sold out. So that was kind of a pain in the ass. So whatever. So eventually, finally, I saw it was actually, I think it was this exact model was in stock, and I didn't buy it because I didn't know exactly how. I saw these Picatinny rails on the back of it. And I thought, I'm stuck with that. I'm pretty much, if I buy that, I'm just going to be stuck with that triangle folder. And I don't like the triangle folder. So, whatever. So I didn't buy it. And then after a while, I started looking at, I ran into adapters for this. So I was like, okay, so I ran into adapters. And then, like, I don't know, a couple days later, I saw it was available. And I scooped it up. I bought the adapters. I bought the was it the A3, the SB Tactical SB A3 brace for it. So ordered that. That's coming tomorrow. It's just that the adapter is going to take, I don't know. I guess it ships out Monday. Ships out Monday, but today's Thursday, so that kind of sucks. So let's talk some stats here. Basically, we're looking at it has a forged front trunnion. Forged is pretty good. I guess there's some AKs out there that have cast trunnions, and for a 9mm, cast might be good enough, might be strong enough. But you know what? Being forged, that's great. So we don't have to worry about that. I would say if you're out there and you're looking at buying a 7.62 or 5.56 or 5.45 AK, and you run into something that has cast trunnions, save yourself time, aggravation, and money. Don't get it. A lot of those, they break. It's maybe in the future they'll develop a better way to do that, a stronger way to do that. But right now, it's just not the way to go. So forged bolt carrier. Again, the difference between cast and forged. Forged is good. We have stamped 1mm steel receiver, 10.5 inch nitrated barrel, made of 4150 steel. Obviously, it fires 9x19, so 9mm. Barrel twist rate on this is a 1 in 10. 1 in 10 is pretty good for a 9mm. Let's see what here. And of course, different grains are going to produce different patterns. So, when you do get it, experiment with different grain rounds, see what groups the tightest, see what works the best for you. And of course, in a pinch, anything will do. But some stuff groups are really, really good with a 1 in 10 twist rate. So we have a 2-port tanker style muzzle brake, which is kind of nice. Me personally, I will be upgrading that to. I like what it is, but I will be upgrading that to a cone muzzle brake in the near future. Picatinny rail, Picatinny top rail, hinged dust cover. Fixed rear sights, enhanced safety lever. So now the funny thing about this is that I've seen people that act like this is like a brand new thing, and it boggles my mind, dude. These have been out since at least 2008, maybe before that. So they've been out for quite some time, and guys are acting like they're brand new or something, and I don't know. It seems fake to me. It seems fake, but whatever. So fix your sights. That's really not a big deal, guys, because you adjust everything on the front. And being a 9mm, pretty much just zeroed in at 25 yards, and kind of learn your holds for up close, and maybe something extended out to 50, maybe 100. I personally wouldn't be trying to push this past 100, even in the most practical sense. You're going to be. If you were to have to use it for defensive situations, it's going to be less than 100 meters. So, it's not going to be a sniper. So, let's see here. What comes next? Single stage, single hook trigger, which, is kind of nice. The thing about the trigger that I like, guys, is that it's actually pretty light. Now, I'm not going to go ahead and you know what? I just can't help myself. We're going to do it. So, all right, guys. First of all, it's clear and empty. It's, not ready to rock and roll just yet, so it's not even condition 3 at the moment. But, guys, the trigger on this, I got to tell you, is very, very smooth. It's smooth. There's some trigger snobs out there that'll say different. But, guys, it's a smooth trigger. It's a light trigger. It resets really nice. I guess if you get it, rocking and rolling, you have the potential to bump fire it, which personally to me I think is if you train to it and you learn how to control it, that's cool. You can do it on a whim. But also, guys, in the long run, I'm going to be upgrading that trigger to Echo, AK Echo trigger. So that's going to be kind of cool. I'm kind of excited for that. Basically, the Echo trigger, it's not going to have this anymore, but it's kind of cool because all the way down is going to be semi-automatic, and then you bump it up 1, and it's a round when you pull the trigger, a round when you release the trigger, and then, of course, you just keep cycling that puppy and get some automatic fun time. Not automatic fun time, but simulated automatic fun time. Either way, it's pretty cool. A quick pull to the rear and release is basically a double tapping for a defensive weapon. Especially if it's feeding defensive ammo pretty well. That's a very good result if you're trying to stop an active threat. So, not bad, not bad. And of course, if you're stopping threats, it's because you or somebody close to you is experiencing an imminent threat of serious bodily harm or death. If that all lines up, then you're defending yourself legally, and that's good. So, Magpul. Polymer pistol grip, polymer foregrip, and of course once I get my adapter and my my brace in, that's going to be OD green as well. So guys, that's pretty much it for the for the stats there. So guys, I truly could not help myself when I saw the AKV out on the market. Now, it's kind of something that I knew was out there for a while. I knew when it was coming out, and I was super excited for it, and I went gaga over it. And then I don't know how life got in the way. Something happened where I completely forgot about it. Don't know how. Never did that before about a gun I was excited about when it came out. But you know what? I was kind of happy that uh, that I did, because I know that the original ones had some problems, and you know they've cleaned it up since then, which is kind of cool because now it's a very you know, reliable weapon. So I had a Strybog at first, and you know, I actually sold my Strybog. I think it was an SP9A1. I sold that for $900 just a couple of weeks ago, and I think, guys, I think I bought that for like 700 something, which, you know, whatever. But I will say the problems with that Strybog uh, were actually nothing except for the following. It would not feed steel case ammo for the literal life of me. All right, it would feed brass case ammo, yeah, perfectly fine, no problems. It would feed defensive ammunition, perfectly fine, no problems. I think the biggest thing was was the angle to the magazine. A very straight magazine, and 9mm tapers ever so slightly. So, you know, you put all that in a flat magazine, that many rounds, you know, there's problems with it. There's problems. So, you know, I was having those problems, and even when you take a fully loaded Strybog magazine and then you like push the rounds out of the top, even the defensive ammunition, even the brass case ammunition that feeds well, uh, comes out of there really really janky. So, although I really did enjoy shooting the Strybog and having the Strybog, it was literally my in-home defense pistol, basically. I still decided to eventually get rid of it, because the biggest reason, guys, is I know that this will feed steel case ammo just fine, and I have to say I only have maybe 200 rounds of brass case ammo, and I probably have maybe 8,000 rounds of steel case ammo. So, you know, it would have taken me forever to shoot all that up with the Strybog, and I have a feeling that this one is going to be much easier on me. I also have extra magazines coming. I'm going to put an order in for probably, I don't know, anywhere from 3 to 4 more magazines just for this, just to start, because they're pretty cheap too. The magazines are like, well, you know what? I'll get into that in just a moment. So I was looking at other AKs out there that fire 9mm, but they use, like, there's one out there that uses Glock mags. I think that one looks so ridiculously stupid. I think it just reminds me of like a Dr. Seuss gun, or like a space gun, or something fucking stupid. I understand that it's practical because it uses Glock magazines, and there's a lot of guns out there that use Glock magazines, but personally I think that weapons like this that use Glock magazines look like shit. So that's my thing. Even AR-9s that do that, I think they all look like shit, because it's the angle of the Glock magazine that makes them all look like shit. I think the only gun that, if it used Glock magazines, would be would be cool, would be like the the Chris Vector, whatever that thing is, because of the angle of that weapon. It kind of works for it. But everything else, nothing looks good. You know, practical as all hell. I'll say that, very practical, but it just doesn't look good. You know, it looks like shit. So I want something that works well and looks good. So went with that. Also, there's another AK out there, a 9mm AK made by Kalashnikov USA, called the Bitch Ass. And I don't know, I just don't like it. It's got proprietary magazines. The you know, it's oh man, what's it called? It's all riveted up here. Like, the dust cover is all riveted. The rails are riveted to it. Not a big fan of that. It does have adjustable rear sights, but like I said, who really needs them when, if you have an AK sight tool, you know, that front sight's really all you need to mess with. And then when you put an optic on it, you're pretty much home free. And there was a couple other problems with it too. I know I had other problems. What do you call it? It was basically, it ran like $1,200, and that was like a couple of months ago, so it's probably way more now. The magazines are proprietary. The top covers were having problems. I actually watched AK Operators Union video on that, and he literally had to take a screwdriver and a hammer and bash the top cover open because it was like jammed up. So that doesn't look. And it's, don't get me wrong, guys. I know it's something that could be fixed. Um, the next release will be better. Next release will be better. I get all that, but this one's good now. So, plus I like it. I actually prefer the fixed rear sights over the adjustables. But that's just me. So it didn't have a last round bolt hold open. This one does. So, like I showed you before, how the magazine works with that plunger. So once you're out of ammo, this is gonna stay open. So when you're training with it, just like an AR, you'll feel that recoil. When it comes back and it goes forward, and it comes back, goes forward, comes back, goes forward. You kind of feel that. And then with an AR, I just most people that shoot ARs can feel this. The recoil is different on your last round because you'll feel it go back. It makes a slightly different noise, but you'll feel it go back and it won't go forward. So the recoil will feel different and it'll sound slightly different. With that, you can kind of you're out of ammo without having to tip it and look. So that's kind of cool. Also, there's a magazine. I'm sorry, a bolt release or bolt catch, however you want to use it. So basically all you do is you pull this down, and when you pull it down, the bolt releases. So that's kind of cool. So last round bolt hold open, and also it has that bolt catch or bolt release. So kind of cool, guys, kind of cool. So I think for the money you're getting more, unless you're like an AK purist. I understand that. I totally get that. If you're one of these guys who only gets off on authentic things, then maybe Kalashnikov USA is your way to go. You're going to spend more money. The magazines are more expensive. These magazines are, I think, like $15, $13 for these. I know that the Kalashnikov USA, the bitch ass mags are like double the price. And guys, I'm just fucking around. I know that it's called the Vityaz or whatever, named after like a elite military unit. They wanted the gun for special whatevers. They wanted the Russian MP5. I get it. I know the story. I just like calling it the bitch ass because that's what it fucking sounds like. Anyway, moving forward. So yeah, guys, that's basically why I went for it. I like that the PSA can share Scorpion magazines. I like that it has the AK reliability. I kind of like that it can bump fire pretty easily, but whatever. But again, as time moves on, I'll be getting that magazine. Or I'm sorry, that trigger, that Echo trigger. So basically excited for that. It's going to be a good time. And we talked about the hollow points and whatevers. So there's a couple things I want to get at. I want to open this up and talk about real quick. So I haven't heard anybody talk about this yet, so I'm going to talk about it. In here, you have one screw here and one screw here. And if you unscrew those screws, you can literally take the back trunnion out. The back, I don't even know if this part is actually called a trunnion. I know all this stuff is, but I don't know if that's actually called a trunnion or not. But for the sake of conversation, guys, I'll call it a trunnion. If you know its actual name, feel free to throw it in the comments and educate me, because, that's good. Let's see here. So it comes apart, obviously, same way. Pretty much your standard AK will come apart. You take your spring out, you take your bolt, but it doesn't have a bolt carrier and a bolt. It just has a bolt. So there's that. It does have the let's see here. I'm trying to get the there we go. See the big shiny part right here. It's got the shill plate in there. I'm sorry, I mean the Mac bracket. But yeah, so that's all good. Very little, actually, let me rephrase that. Zero wobble in the top cover here. Zero wobble at all. Now I haven't put any, I literally never shot it yet. Haven't shot it yet. So I wouldn't expect there to be any, but this is exactly what I'm expecting for brand new, zero wobble. I hope it stays that way long term. And again, the more when I get upgrades for it, when I get range time with it, I'll definitely come back and report my findings. So that's always interesting. So again, guys, goes back same way any other AK goes back together. You put your bolt back in. Now you do have to push down the hammer to get your bolt to clear. So that's kind of a pain in the ass, but it's not a huge deal, guys. It's not a deal breaker for me anyway. Your mileage may vary, as Nothing Fancy would say. And yeah, I'm a Nothing Fancy fan, so fucking what? Been watching his shit since 2008. I'm like one of the OGs here. Jesus. Yeah, all this stuff back here is gonna take some getting used to. But whatever, not a big deal. You just have to kind of squish things in and whatever. So the question is it an AK? Yeah, it's an AK. It's slightly different. It's a gas. I'm sorry, it's a direct blowback. So there's no gas that bleeds off from up here and comes back. There's no actual piston. It's one of those guns that just is what it is. Oh, and I forgot to talk about this piece right here. Let me go back real quick. So it's kind of cool because again, if you want to put a, I guess if you want to SBR it, or if you want to put a adapter in, a brace in, whatever. So basically, guys, when you unscrew these screws here and you pull this out, you can actually take this piece and it indexes right underneath this screw here. So you'll have your top little tang here for stocks and whatnot if you want to go that direction. That's kind of cool. I don't know if that's like a standard way they're shipping now or what, but it came with mine, and I'm kind of glad it did. So that's kind of cool. So you can change these out. So if you don't find one in stock, if you want one of those like full pistols, and there's not one in stock, and there's only this, don't be worried about being stuck with this, because this comes off. You can change it out. Not bad. Not a bad idea. So thank you, PSA, for adding that kind of modularity into your design, because I know that's something that I haven't seen talked about in any other videos. So I figured I would do the due diligence of at least covering that. So guys, basically in the short term, getting the brace on, OD green brace, that should be showing up tomorrow. It actually came today, but I wasn't home, and how about this? I ordered 2-day shipping on it so I can get it quicker. Well, surprise, surprise, I'm not home when they deliver it, and they require a signature. Like, here's the thing, people. If you're shipping something on 2-day, shipping, don't put the fucking signature shit on there, because they're not going to get it when they need it, all right? I'm just glad it wasn't like, a dire thing. I just wanted it real quick because I knew when I was getting this, I wanted to be able to put everything together on the same day, but, oh well. So anyway, guys, new cone muzzle brake, muzzle device is going to go on there. My red dot, I have actually I have a real cheapo one from Amazon that has been, actually have it right now on my Ruger 1022, but, I mean, it's been ticking away for the longest time ever. The battery life is not as long as it's advertised, but I've also seen, I think it's called an AT3 Tactical. I'm pretty sure. Like, literally bought the thing for like $75 on Amazon, and it's been holding together like a fucking champ. Like, I don't know, man. I think the prices on them might go up. Not sure, but they're it's a really, really nice optic. And the cool thing is I can co-witness in the lower 1/3 with my irons too, so that's kind of cool. But anyway, as I add all this stuff, and as I upgrade it slightly, and I get it to the range, and I get to certain round counts and whatnot, I'll come back, I'll update you guys. It'll be the adventures of the PSA. So yeah, that's pretty much all I got for you guys today. Just if you're looking for one of these, it's true what they say. These are not in stock for very long. Even today, I was looking and saw that there was a bunch of really, really cool ones with the braces on them, that they were available, and I was thinking, man, I just had to wait like not even a week, and I could have got the one I wanted. because a shit ton of them were in stock. But I don't know. An hour later, I went back on, and they were all gone. So they do not stay in stock for very long. These things are the new hotness, man. And in my opinion, it's kind of like the Russian MP5 with an American twist, because obviously it's not a clone of the bitch ass, but it's it's close in a way. It's close in a way, but again, it's got that American twist. Anyway, thank you so much, PSA, for making this personally. Once I get this squared away and set up, a couple hundred rounds of my defensive ammo downrange. As long as it runs good, it will be my new home defense gun, hands down. Of course, I'm always going to have my EDC, but if I feel like carrying something around, and, watching We Were Soldiers or something, and I want to hold something, it's probably going to be this. Hear that bump in the night, need to grab something, probably going to be this. Walking around just bored because guns are awesome, probably going to be this in my hands. So, yeah, I love this. I can't wait to get it squared away. But anyway, guys, that's all I got for you today. Stay safe, stay smart. I'll talk to you all next time. Blue Line Patriot, signing out.